If you are a professional who's having a hard time reaching their goals, and you might just feel unfulfilled, well, you are definitely in the right place. My name is Mackenzie. I'm a certified hypnotherapist, a past life healer, and I help professionals step into their divine leadership skills using advanced modalities that will help them expand their consciousness. Let's get into it because the majority of my intuitive sessions start out the same way. People are like, what's my purpose? I don't have any purpose. And then it goes down the rabbit hole of the same stuff. They're like, I just don't feel like I'm bringing out that untapped potential out. I don't know how to express it. I don't know where to place myself. And most of the time, people are like, well, I feel like I'm showing up to my life and doing all the right things, but I'm getting the same results. And in fact, I used to have that very same problem, which is what led me into building this platform. Because when I tell you that my inability to move my life forward was so heavy, so painful, so distressing that I was getting all these health issues. I was burnt out. I was feeling depressed. And it was like, no matter what job I took, no matter what action I would take, I ended up getting the same results over and over and over again, which is feeling unfulfilled, feel poor. I couldn't make money. I had no fulfillment whatsoever from anything I put my hands on. But I also started to notice these specific patterns of the same things, the same blow ups over and over and over again. And honestly, it was so distressing. My stomach would hurt every single day. And I thought to myself, I don't know how I'm going to show up for the rest of my life living like this because something's got to change. I'm showing up with a good attitude. I'm showing up to my life, but yet here I am. And it wasn't until later down the road that I got introduced to energy healing. And I shared with this energy healer who still works with me today. I'm like, I am going to break down completely. I can't make money. I'm not sure where to go. And when she took a look at my energy, she's like, wow, abundantly and financially speaking, I was 100% shut down. Couldn't make money, win money, earn money, save money, whatever. And it wasn't until we started doing the clearing work, clearing out these stagnated energies, blocked emotions, clearing out old patterns and belief systems that were sitting in my energy. That was when my life started to work for me. Now, this wasn't something that happened overnight. I've been doing healing work for a really long time. But you know what? It got me here. And I absolutely love what I do. I love every session with every client. I love the creative work I get to do. It doesn't feel like work for me. It is so fulfilling. And I know as a fact that I am in alignment with my life mission, my soul's purpose. And this is exactly what I was born to do, was to inspire other people to get reconnected with their divine creative self, their intuition, their higher self, so they can consciously create the life that they desire and the life that they deserve. So, in this process of me exploring myself on a deep soul level, doing the healing work, the energy work, these belief systems are what now I really do believe to be true, and that there is creative genius potential in everybody. But we've been approaching it wrong this whole time. We have been conditioned. We have been forced to believe that if we want something, we have to work hard. We have to put the action in. We have to do all the stuff with our conscious minds. But the key to accessing that brilliance inside of us, that infinite creative power, that infinite wisdom, comes down to uncreating self. We're not creating anything. This has everything to do with uncreation because we've come on earth many times. We've lived many lifetimes, and along the way, we've accumulated negative belief systems about ourselves, negative belief systems about the world. We have created a lot of karmic imbalances. Got to start addressing those. And we've also been living in total amnesia, forgetting who we are, forgetting that we're these infinite soul creators with such massive potential, and that our experience here in the physical is just a very, very small glimpse of time. But now we're coming back into self. We are stepping back into this awareness of this ability to do wild, amazing, fun, impactful things. And the problem, though, is that we have so many closeted leaders and people walking around with this untapped potential inside of them simply because they do not know how to access it. And the reason why it is so important that we start reconnecting with this divine self, this divine leader that's in all of us, is because this is how we are going to start dissolving these outdated systems and structures that are keeping us all poor, stuck, unfulfilled, all of it. And every single person that works on themselves, every single person that expands their consciousness and raises their vibration has a profound impact on people around them beyond even your, like, what your mind is able to grasp onto. Everything I do within my platform really comes down and is based on this. And you may or may not have heard or seen or read David Hawkins, but he is a researcher, an author, a scientist who found a way to calibrate consciousness through means of muscle testing. Now, I'm not going to get into how that works, but you can calibrate the consciousness of anything. People, ideas, events, geographic locations. And so I apply this to what we're doing inside of my programs, inside of the club, inside of my soul community, because there is a real scientific method to expanding one's consciousness. So all this stuff that we've considered woo before really has to start getting applied in a very practical way now, because I do believe that our future leaders, in fact, many leaders now are doing this stuff, but it's just been hidden from the general public. But now we have to get uncomfortable. We have to get outside of our box of the way we know how things work, of what we're doing, so we can start accessing these higher vibrational attractor patterns to give us those experiences that we desire, both personally and professionally. So let's break this down. So the scale of consciousness is on a scale of 0 to 1,000. So one, I don't think anything actually has 0, but 1 would be, for example, bacteria. Bacteria calibrates at 1. And then a totally enlightened person would be up to 1,000. But I don't think we have a single person walking on Earth right now that calibrates that high. Now, the average human sits below 200. And I want to point your attention to the 200 and the 500 calibration, because these are two very big leaps for a soul in their journey here on Earth to get over these two calibrations. Now, anything under 200 is going to be someone who's operating in victim consciousness. So in this consciousness, everything happens to you, everything happens outside of you. You are the victim of this physical reality. They've given their power away, and they not constantly, but they consistently operate from a place of fear and ego. And once we start getting above that 200 mark, this is when we start having a little bit of that, aha, wait a second. I just know there's something more here. How am I contributing to my problems and my conflicts, and how can I change it? There's a lot of power one takes back when they make that leap over 200. And when you get up to 500, this is a place of where you're operating at unconditional love. And only 4% of this world's population is above 500. Now, the reason why you specifically want to be working on your vibration and expanding your consciousness is that the attractor patterns of just one person who's operating at a level of 500 has profound impact on thousands of people around them. And it's through that energy, it's through that state of being that influences, motivates, and actually will prompt unconsciously that person to start doing the healing work. So if you're someone, for example, let's say you are a light worker, maybe you do have just naturally a more expanded vibration. And there's people that come within your you know, physical area, and they're just immediately triggered by you, and you don't know what you said, what you did, and you're like, I didn't even do anything. Like, why is this person hating on me? It's because your energy pushed on something inside of them that requires healing, and they don't like it. So again, that outer projection goes on you. So with that being said, our goal is to get you above 200. Now, even though the human average is 207, the majority of the world sits below 200. Now, we want to start getting you jumping up quickly. The average human jumps only 5 points in a lifetime, but using the right modalities, clearing your energy, clearing your blocked emotion, you can jump up hundreds in one lifetime. And this is what I'm doing with my clients inside of the Alchemist Ascension program. Let's go just a little bit deeper into what happens when one hits 200. I just want to create a picture for you because you start opening up, vibrationally speaking, access to these new energy fields, new higher consciousness attractor patterns. So this is where you start expanding your ability to get in touch with your intuition. You expand your awareness. You attract people that are more in alignment with what you want. And obviously, then the higher your frequency, the higher the attractor patterns. But this graph I find fascinating because it's almost comparable to a graph you would see that would give you the difference between like a normal healthy brain and a trauma brain. So trauma brain, anything that's calibrated under 200 is going to be stuck in fight or flight and stress. And that's not where you create. You can't create new experiences that way because you're consistently in this, well, that happened to me in the past, and you project it into the future. And now you're in these looping thought patterns that are not going to, again, create those new experience that you want. So when we start expanding your awareness and vibration above 200, this is where healing resides. This is where now you energetically can come back in alignment with that higher self. And you can start creating, you can be present. You're not in constant trauma, fight, or flight. So genius, by definition, is a style of consciousness characterized by the ability to access high energy attractor patterns. So remember I was saying in the beginning, we're not creating anything. We're just getting back into our infinite wisdom, our higher self, and being able to draw from the quantum big ideas, business ideas, creative problem solving, because we can't solve our problems with the same consciousness that created it to begin with. So let's expand our awareness and have that problem no longer a vibrational match for our life. And we're going to start incorporating our inner genius, our creativity to our professional lives so we can lead more fulfilling, abundant work lives. And I won't get too far into this, but there are specific acidic frequencies that you can access. And this is how people will start accessing, for example, like astral traveling, their psychic mediumship skills, because they're just able to tap into those different frequencies. And those are called acidic states. So here's a summary that I had with a client. She started with me inside of the Alchemist Ascension program. And as you can see right up here, her pre-clearing vibration, she started with us and she was 189. So this particular client, she just felt like no matter what she did, she can't get out of debt. She can't have fun with her life. She's just constantly stressed. And she just knew that there was something else here for her. And so when she enrolled, me and my entire team of healers, so there's 5 of us inside this program that work individually with all the clients, we were seeing the same thing. It was all stemmed from trauma when she was younger from a stepdad. So her stepdad was very mentally and emotionally abusive, and she took on those energies, imprints, and belief systems on sitting in her energy, creating actual blocks for her as an adult. And it's been really, really heavy. So those are the kind of things we need to look at when we're saying like, well, why do you have all this debt? I'm not looking at the conscious aspect. I'm looking at the energetic aspect that is creating the debt for her. So now, this was the most recent session we did. Post clearing, she got all the way up to 380. And then I say, like, once the dust settles from all the clearing work and we clear all the blocked emotion, your vibration does tend to come down, but it consistently, the more work you do, the higher it just keeps going. And now her psychic intuitive skills are crazy wild. She's very talented. She's been able to speak specifically to those who have passed much easier. She's been accessing her own past lives. I'm like, well, what am I doing for you now? Go do it. She knows how to now consciously start creating her life versus all the trauma, the ego, the fears that then were getting reflected in her physical life over and over and over again. And now she is in alignment to become a death doula. I'm like, I don't know if I could do that job, but that's what she does, or that's what she wants to do. Aside from booking single sessions, you can work with me in a couple different ways. I've created the Alchemist Ascension program, and this is a high-level spiritual and ascension mentorship program. So if you're really serious about doing the healing work and really start profoundly transforming yourself spiritually, energetically, so you can consciously create the life that you desire, you can check out my website here, and I will provide, and it provides you all the information that you need. It's been taking my clients around 7 to 8 months to get through it entirely. Sometimes they like to take breaks, which I highly recommend, just to allow a lot of the new information to digest, to kind of allow specific energy to settle, and then we start moving things forward. So it's in your control how often you want to work on all your different sessions, but you will have access to the online library of tools that you can use for the rest of your life. Now, I also have a business and money edition of the Alchemist program where we can specifically focus um, on career stuff. Now, the benefit to doing the money and business edition too is that you will be doing the full abundance clearing program inside of the Alchemist program. So one of my healers, she studied under Christy Marie Sheldon, who's one of my favorites. She is the queen of clearing abundance blocks. And we will take you through everything from making money, keeping money, saving money, to taking a look and dissecting very specifically where you're holding those blocks, creating those experiences with money for you. And we're just going to basically clean house of all that stuff. So you can take a look at how this works inside of here. But, if you're not really looking to do that intensive work, if you're not ready to do that full time, I did create the club inside of my Soul Committee, which is going to give people access to really start dipping their toes in the water to see what this type of work is all about. And this is all geared towards professionals, helping them create what it is they want within their working life, helping them reach their goals by means of consciousness expansion and a high level community. So I've curated amazing programming centered around healing, expansion, but I'm also applying a lot of practical workshops in here too to help you build a business, reach your goals, create alignment, all the good stuff that people want, but they never have known quite how to do it. Well, I'm showing you exactly how to do it. And I really do sincerely mean that this world is ready for fresh leadership skills to emerge, and it starts with you. We have to start taking our lives back and consciously creating what it is that we want, because our lives are short. We don't get forever here. So let's stop living these patterns that are unfulfilling and not really lighting our soul on fire. We don't have to subscribe to those belief systems anymore that we're meant to just wake up, go to work, go home, and do everything all over again. So if you're really ready to step into your soul's highest purpose, unlock your DNA potential, and access your divine leadership skills, this club is definitely for you, and I welcome you with open arms. So again, if you're ready to tap into that untapped potential, you can apply for the Alchemist Ascension program or the Alchemist Ascension Biz and Money Edition program, or you can just enroll inside of the club and just start getting your feet wet with all the fun stuff. But anyways, thanks for being here. I will provide links for you if you want to work with me in the comments below.